Welcome back to the channel, and today in Power BI we are going to show you how to use Power Query to build out an Excel table so that you can use in Power BI. And we're going to start off by importing an Excel table from an Excel document. Then we are going to add days and month and year and quarter information to build out that calendar table. One of the more powerful functions of Power BI is time series and also being able to use time intelligence functions. So you're going to want to have a robust data calendar. I'll even show you how to copy the code so that you can create it. If you have certain columns that you like or a certain calendar you like, you can actually copy that code and bring it into a new document. Let's go to Power BI. Back in Power BI, and this time around we're going to take a look at how to load a Excel table that is set up as a date field, and we are going to import that into Power BI, and using some of the query editing tools we are going to build out a calendar. The time intelligent functions in Power BI are some of the most important and powerful DAX measures you can use to build out a strong calendar. And one of the things you always want to know as an analyst, your data set, what you are working with. So in Excel, we have a one column table. It has a date column, and it's officially set up as a table. And the table name is Demo Calendar. We are now going to go to Power BI, import this, and build out the calendar. Back in Power BI, we are going to build out the demo calendar so that we can have a calendar that we can use for a file. And what we're going to be doing now is going to the Power Query editor. Easiest way to get to it is the transform data, and that'll open up the Power Query editor in Power BI. And what we are going to be doing is connecting to a new data source. And the data source, as we mentioned, is an Excel table. And we're going to find that Excel table, which is called the demo calendar, is the name of the file. And the name of the table inside that file is called demo calendar. We just showed you that in Excel. Again, with the blue ribbon, that marks that it is an official Excel table, and it's always easier to bring data into Power BI, especially if you want it to adjust. If you refresh the data and if that table changes, it will automatically add more data. So we're going to add in that table, and so now we have our data demo calendar. And for this example, we are going to, first thing you always want to do when you go into Power Query is name the query. So we are going to name this calendar. That is going to be the name of this table. And we are going to start to build out. Now remember, in Power Query, you have two types of transformations you can do on a date table. You can do a transform, which actually transforms that column, or you can do an add column. And we are going to be doing add columns because we want to add additional columns to this table. And we are going to use the date function to build this out. So the first thing you do is add column. Then we are going to select the date column. And first off, we are going to add year, and then we are going to add month. So for year, we now select year, and that will add the year column. Now what you have to do now is go back to the date column, because we're adding a column again. Now we want to go to the month. We look at our options. We've got year, month, quarter, week, and day. Under the month, you have month, start of month, end of month, days in the month, and name of the month. We are going to add month, start of month, and name of month. So for month, that brings in the month number. And for the second month column, we are going to add the start of the month. And our final month column, from the date column, we are going to go back to the date, then we are going to select month, and we are going to select the name of the month. So now we have the month name, January, February, March. We have the start of the month, which starts that month, and then the month number for our 3-month columns. Now for the quarter, we want to go back to the date column, and from the quarter, we are only going to add the quarter of the year. And then from the date column, we are going to add a couple of from the week columns. And for the week options, you have week of year, week of month, start of week, and end of month. So we are going to add the start of the week, and that brings in the start of the week. And what this does is whatever week that week starts on, January 1, January 8th, January 15th, every 7 days, that's going to go up. And then what we're going to add in is the day of the week. So we're going to go back to the date, and we are going to add in from the day is the day of the week. And that's going to bring up a number between 0 and 7. And then we're going to add in the name of the day. So for the date, we're going to bring in the day, and then we're going to bring in the name of the day. And Sunday is set as 0. Monday is set as 1. We can change that. We will show you that in a future video. But for now, we have basically built this out. We have a query, and if you look at the steps, we have the source, which was the calendar table. Then we started adding in the different columns from the Add Column menu. And from the date, we brought in our year, month, quarter, week, and day columns. So that is how you build out a calendar in Power Query. And then what you can do is use this for your model when you bring in your other data sets and connect the model together. You can use the calendar table as part of your data model and start to use DAX time intelligence functions in that data model. So that is a look how to bring in those from the original table, which was in an Excel document. So the only thing we're going to do right now is save this, and we will come back and show you how to copy this if you want to start off on a new file. You've built out the calendar inside Power BI. Next, what you want to do is go to the home menu, and now you want to close and apply. So that'll make all the changes and actually load that data from the Power Query into your model. Now, we opened up a new file here, and now you have a calendar table that has all of the columns that you just set up. So you can go to the data view and see all of those columns. Now, the first thing we're going to do is go into the date, and we're going to make this a short date. And we're going to make the start of the month a short date. And we're going to make the start of week a short date. So that way we have consistency across all of our data fields. And what that allows us to do is they'll be a little bit shorter in your data visualizations when you start doing your matrices and things like that. So now we have it set up, and this is a nice calendar. The only thing is every time you build a new document, you may not want to build out this complete calendar. Let's say you're going to do 3 or 4 different projects, and you have built out a robust data calendar with maybe even 20 or 25 calendar columns, and you want to be able to just use that in additional tables. So what we're going to do now is show you how you can do that by copying and pasting. So what we're going to do is go back into the transform data, and all of those transformations that you made using the table on the query, here is the query on the right-hand side, those were recorded in what they call the advanced editor. And the advanced editor has all of the code. Just by clicking on those buttons, it put in code. So what we can do now is copy this code. So we'll Command C, then we'll hit done, and we'll close and apply out of this. And let's say if we started a brand new file, what we can do is go into Power Query and paste this code, and that calendar table will come up just like you set it up. So this is a brand new file, and all we're going to do is, and we're going to select a blank query. And now we're just going to paste. We're going to go into the advanced editor and we're going to paste this code. Then we click done. And all of those tables have now come in. And all we need to do is change the query name from query 1 to calendar. And in this new file, all we need to do then is close and apply. And all of that data that you set up in the original file is now going to be in the right-hand side in the data. We're going to have a calendar table, and all of those same columns are in there. So this can save you a lot of time by copying and pasting your code inside Power BI when you start a new file. Now, these are when you have a static data field. There's also a rolling calendar, which then accounts for the dates in your data table, and we will show you that in a future video. But if you have static data and you know the years that are going to be on your calendar, you can copy and paste your code, you can build out your calendar table, and then start using those fields for your time intelligence functions. That is a look at how to build a calendar using Power BI and Power Query inside Power BI.